You are one with him whose name is unspeakable, whose power is unimaginable.
One of my best friends astral projects. He tries to project probably about once a week, but he doesn't like doing it more frequently than that.
Listen, I'm not participating in some wild orgy.
You fail to understand my meaning.
But I'm not doing anything so disgusting.
There's nothing disgusting about it. Why are you so damn hung up in the retarded morality of that world out there? The women remove their clothes and the men form a circle. Charlie, get the candles out of the trunk where we keep the magic paraphernalia. Rise.
It's a dead body, Pete. Just like on TV.
Okay, tell me about Pamela Kirby.
Not really any of your business, man.
Well, she's dead, man, and I'm a detective from homicide, so it is my business, man. We're speculating she was attacked by a wild animal or a crazed killer.
That's very strange. I mean, there aren't any zoos or circuses or prisons where wild animals would be getting loose around here, you know. This isn't, Africa.
Bobby, stop making faces. We're we're on the air. Hi, welcome back to Hamburger Theater, the strange world of B movies, bad movies, cult movies, D movies, exploitation flicks, Z-grade pictures, and everything in between. Man, I don't know what it is about magic that gets me so riled up, but I don't know, it just gets me so riled up. There's just something about it that makes me keep coming back for more, you know? Probably because they're so darn awesome. Without further ado, let me introduce to you the Demon Lover. Okay, stay with me here. A lady gets murdered by a thing in the woods that looks a lot like an arm. A dude with a sweet mustache called that spooky arm. Another lady won't do his bidding, so he calls a demon who will, this time for revenge. But now, there's bodies piling up, so who's behind the murders? Huh. Well, that was weird. Follow a bumbling detective as he struggles to piece together this mystical mishap. Man, no matter what, I just keep coming back to magic-themed movies. What? Oh, I did that one already? Man, I should really write this stuff down. Anyway, The Demon Lover is a horror/fantasy/kinda cop flick that's as wacky as the performances are believable. Chew on that. What you'll get from a movie like this is kind of a jumbled mess, but at least it's entertaining. There's always something to think about during this movie. Why is it so dark? How come they put the camera there? Isn't that kind of stupid? When do I sign up for karate lessons? Who provided the magic paraphernalia? Where was this movie first shown? What hair product does Laval use? Cause it's flowy and perfect. The Demon Lover looks and feels like a bunch of friends got together and made a movie. But they were reading someone else's lines, and weren't really allowed to do much else other than shoot your part as quickly as possible without taking too much of the director's time and inserting any improvised, natural-sounding conversational dialogue.
Well, this detective named Frazetta came into the bakery today.
Yeah?
And, he was questioning me about Pamela's death.
Pamela? What happened to her?
I think Laval had something to do with Pamela's death. You saw how he acted last night. I'm really scared.
Don't worry about a thing, Fritz. I'll hold down the fort.
It's a good idea, because you never know when it might start to levitate.
Levitate? What's levitate?
It's a dictionary right beside you.
L-E-V. What? Good Lord.
The first important scene happens after a long sequence of someone just recording a bumpin' party for a little while. There's a leader of this party, and his name's Laval. You can't miss him because he has expert karate skills, has flowy, long blonde hair, a sweet mustache, and lives in a castle. He gets into a frustrating conversation with a newcomer in his occult group who doesn't want to take her clothes off. What a prude. They then exit the magic camping tent to introduce a problem. Everyone hates Laval now. They're fed up. Laval gets threatened by Damien, a humorless, no-fun magic hater, and then Laval vows his revenge on all those who walked out on him right before the orgy. Naturally, if you're an expert of magic and your friends just dissed and walked out on you, you're gonna want to call up a demon to exact your deadly revenge on those now untrustworthy fellows. Magic circle? Check. Lock of hair? Check. Naked magic sword to hold in front of you just in case it intimidates a demon? Check. Post-it notes. You know, post-it notes? Some sort of scratch paper to write down details in case the demon tells you that you have to recite a certain passage or remember a certain name before you forget him. Oh, never mind.
Bound to serve by magic you evoke. Curse you all blessing, for there is some servant for petty revenge.
Yeah, I think I got that. So, what do you do when you find a body killed by a demon? Since there is now a murder, we meet Detective Frazetta, just trying to make heads and or tails of this devilish business. His questioning practices and people skills are out of practice, so he tries a little bad cop routine and shoots a rubber band at the lady that knows the first murder victim. Hits her right in the butt.
What in the hell did you do that for?
Let's just say the devil made me.
Get out of here. Get the hell
Hey,
out of
now,
here. I
calm
don't have
down.
to talk to
Okay,
you.
all right, I'm going.
What? This is when bad cop goes bad. Okay, so it can't be that surprising that more people die. Not in a movie like this. This is supposed to be a horror movie. 2 ladies die in and around a car. More ladies die after a whipped cream incident. Yes, you heard that correctly. Anyway, the point is that watching Detective Frazetta bumble around the whole movie, and in a contrast that unsurprisingly lacks nuance, watching Laval, the sorcerer, dick around after he's done murdering makes the movie enjoyable to a greater extent than eating paint chips. And dick around he does. Laval spends an entire 3 minutes training at his dojo? What happens after the 2-minute 52-second karate montage, then the mildly amusing bar fight that beats the karate scene in length, but sorely lacks the correct proportion of any realistic fight choreography? Seriously. Laval kicks a fat guy in his giant stomach and he tips over like a bowling pin. You should have gotten used to suspending your disbelief when it's clear the filmmakers poorly coordinate their stage fighting, but this is after we see this Laval doofus call a demon in what looks like a less painful effort than actually having to flip through the yellow pages. Hey, I got off track. Sorry. So after all that stuff, there's a tiny scene that proves to be the weirdest and most interesting / confusing bit in the whole entire movie. How can it be confusing, Andre? I can hear you say already, I've watched this far and my brain isn't a thing anymore. Why do you think I'm a disembodied voice talking to you about these crappy movies? I lost my thingy a long time ago. Well, can't dwell on that. Moving on. Remember all of Laval's friends that he unfriended way back at the beginning, whom he threatened to kill? They're carpooling to their female friend's house to round up the gang and kill Laval once and for all. Oh, and they need gas.
Oil, transmission fluid, and don't scratch the paint and the chrome, because this is an excellent car. I like the idea of the girls being out there alone.
They're not alone, man. Laval probably sent the devil to keep him company.
Hey, there's some things we shouldn't joke about, man.
Hey, man, I thought that magic stuff was a lot of fun. It never scared me. Hey, watch it. Look at a weak heart.
Look at that. 465, 89, 74, 5, 7. Even 5. Just let it go in even 5.
This is quite possibly the shortest and most baffling scene I've ever seen. Is there an award for that? There should be. While the gas flows into their car, they talk amongst themselves about what they're going to do once they rescue their lady friends. Then the fill-up is complete and the gang realizes nobody has any money.
Here, hold this till we get back. Because we gotta go get some money. We'll be right back.
Give the gas guy a bit of wood and tell him you'll be right back. Okay, it's ruffians being ruffians. Then the camera pans slowly to the gas tanks, revealing a recreation of The Last Supper. I have to tell you this. This is what happens in the movie. I'm not even joking. I don't even have a retort for that. And that's it. There's nothing really to talk about because nothing makes sense. And I mean, that's pretty much it. The only thing left that this movie even attempts to build up, and it kind of fulfills its promise, I would say. I won't really tell you what happens because normally you watch a movie so you can experience the end of the movie and not have the end of the movie spoiled for you, because why would you begin watching a movie? This is The Demon Lover. Screw it. I'm gonna tell you what happens. Okay, before I start off, I have to preface this by saying that the demon costume design, you can't see it because, well, you know, the demon costume design is actually, like, it's not bad. It looks like it could work. It's not a chore to look at. Let me put it that way. You also sort of want to see the demon more in the movie, and that's usually a good sign for a horror movie where there's a demon, and that the demon is, you know, not just a person with red face makeup. Like, this is a costume I'm talking about. He's got robes, he's got a mask, it looks a little weird, but you wanna keep looking at it. There's a certain tier of badass that I would put this on. It's not really that high up, but it's on the tier. I mean, it's on the ladder. If badass is a ladder. Does that make sense, Bobby? That makes sense. It's within the range of something that could be considered badass. It's not all the way there, but it's kind of, you can see the effort that they made. Anyway, that does it for special effects, really.
We can't wait around. We got things to do.
Oh, what do you mean? Where are we going?
Quit being an idiot. We're heading for the castle.
Well, I gotta be home by 10 o'clock.
There's no time to be a sissy.
No, if we go inside, we're all gonna die.
Hey, if you don't go inside with us, clown, you're gonna die here and now.
So the gang, with their newly filled gas tank that they didn't pay for, drives up to their friend's house to realize that everyone has been terribly murdered. This time we know who did it. So it's time to bring the fight to them. So they drive up to Laval's castle. Where else would he be? His taekwondo class is over, and it's kind of late, so maybe he's, getting ready for bed. So the gang storms the castle. They find a bunch of weapons that they never realized was there before, even though it was the same common room that they were in a few days ago. And one of the most hilarious members of the gang grabs the crossbow and accidentally shoots it into his friend's private parts. Now, while the gang has assembled, Detective Frazetta receives a late night phone call. Their murderer's location has been revealed. It's back at that big old castle. Who knew? Even though we don't really know how he learns this, it doesn't matter because you just want this thing to be over. So he stays in his PJs, he puts on shoes, of course, and grabs his gun. Meanwhile, the gang finds Laval and they get into a big old brutal brawl. And then the demon shows up and grabs Laval and murders him somehow. I don't remember. Honestly. And that's it. Really. That's it. The Demon Lover is a classic study in fascination. What was it like to be involved in this, and why did they keep going when everything was turning out to be a disaster? Well, it's mostly the director, but no one budged or fought because those who did ended up leaving. This movie ended up going through 4 different cameramen and was edited by 5 different people. This specific study in fascinating terribleness is worth becoming more widespread. If you can, hunt for the Demon Lover today, and share the pain with those you know and love.
Would you like a Bloody Mary, Mr. Frazetta?
No thanks, I've already had a bloody Pamela, a bloody Elaine, and a bloody Janice.
Tom, please. These people are serious. I don't want to hear any more wisecracks. Tom, please.
respectable, sophisticated ghost chasers can tell me something about black magic.
Tom, please. Please. Tom, please.
Have been listening to Hamburger Theater. This was a production by Andre Couture. All audio is meant to aid in discussion and review of this movie. The movie I watched was The Demon Lover, directed and written by Donald G. Jackson and Jerry Yonkins, made in 1977. Released in 1980-something by Unicorn Video, starring Jerry Yonkins as Christmas Robbins, as Laval Blessing, Tom Hutton as Detective Tom Frazetta, Val Myrick as Damien, and David J. Howard as the Demon. Before I go to sleep here in the studio, I have to thank Scarecrow Video in Seattle for making this film available to me to blather on about. So, thanks guys. Hey, have a suggestion? Send me an email, hamburgertheater@gmail. That's hamburger, Theatre. Bobby, that was totally unprofessional of you. Interns, right?